This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day and of the week here. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. Now the Dow was green. Now she's turned a little bit red. The S&P is still green. Nasdaq is down. It's still green at about up to about 120. So overall, this was really a good trading day. Buying pre-market and then boom, sell into the old rally. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the EIA report for natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin. Okay, now let's just take a look here at the RSI here. You're looking at 33. That's now nowhere near oversold. That could come down just like what we had here. See how that oversold condition is going to be. And this was a really nice, good positive divergence. See how we had this low right here. We had that lower low. We have a low here. We had a higher low. That tells you had to get in and look at the nice result. So now we got to do the same thing. You got to just be patient on the old Bitcoin. Now today, to me, for the great trade was BITI. And that was really a good on the old short side. Okay, so don't be afraid to go both directions. Right here. So we're not there. This is you're getting down to that area here. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. Kind of a situation. So I think you got a little bit more selling, but we can't you just don't go buy in because we have a red candle and you think this is low. That's not going to work. Okay, so you got to wait until it tells you to get back in. So what we're looking for is either a higher low or a red dog where it smashes down and then it just comes right back up again, kind of a situation. Okay, so always look at this area here, like I was just pointing out here with that positive divergence situation. Anything that'll give you a little bit of edge in the old trading. Okay, so right now here we got this low here of 94,580 level. Okay, so basically what we want to do is you just want to come right over here, bring this price channel right across here, and then what you got is right there is 93,950 is going to be next there, and then we come over to the top of this candle right there. You're looking at that 91,970 level. That could be right there, and then we can come right here to the top of this candle at that 89.20, which could be very good. It could be the mark. Now again, we can also come right on down here. You got 87.70 level. We have 84.90. We come down here to the bottom, 83.190, and we could venture all the way down to the 79 level, 78 level, and then we have your big retest down here at the 74 level kind of situation. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go. What I'm saying is I always like to show you we take one level at a time. That's how you make trading, and that's how you actually make the money. Okay. Now, here on the upside, well, we got to get back up to this area because I said 94,980. So what you really want to do here is we have to follow everything where we look for support, and we have to look at that now as resistance. So now we're looking here at that 96,780 level. We want to get back above here, and then we come up top of that candle, 98,305. We come up there at 98,6110, and then we're going to be looking right here to the bottom of this candle right here at that 99,250. Now this is going to be very, very critical that we have to get back about that 99.90 level. Then if we can, then we can start rallying up. Now again, if we get above that, we have that 8-day, very, very strong. So when those futures open like on Sunday night, this is not going to be 101,853. This is going to be lower. Okay, so just always remember that we have a waterfall going here on all these simple moving averages. So until they turn, this is going to be all the way. This is still can go much lower than what we have. You have to be able to turn those simple moving averages into a positive where that 8-day, your price is above that 8-day, then we can rally on up. When it gets below that 8-day, you can see where it's going to come right on down, and look at come right on down situation here. Okay, so we had this tweezer top, couldn't get through that. Then we had another one right at the 21, couldn't do it. And look how many times it hit that 200-day and we couldn't get above it. And so this is really no surprise on the situation. Okay, so again, if you're holding long, that's fine. I just think this is basically a selling opportunity, but I think we're going to have a huge buying opportunity here eventually here. Okay, so just be very, very patient. But right now we're downtrending high, lower high situation, low, lower low, lower low, and lower low. So we're tracking all the way down, kind of a situation. Okay, so right now here, what you want to watch when I like on Sunday night is watch that 94,580 level. If not, we're going to go right down to that next level right there. It's going to be right there. It's going to be that 93,950. That's going to be next target, and then we can look to that 91,970 level, and then always look to the top of that at that 89,20 level. It's going to be your downside targets. By the time we reach that, this here should be way to an oversold condition. The same way with your MACD. Again, this could just do the old flip ski and turn right back up again, but just be patient with this kind of a situation. And the key is we have to get back above that 8-day and that 21-day to reverse this negative downtrend. Okay, let's take a look here now at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum did a lot better today than Bitcoin. Okay, so we came down. We're looking for this retest there at 3073. Okay, so today we made a low there of a 3071. Okay, so right there, and we've held this 200-day at 3064. Now we have this bottoming tail in it. So right now, when you look at this right now, we have a double bottom situation very, very nicely. See, and that's what you're kind of looking for on that Bitcoin, looking for some kind of a tail kind of a situation. So we're looking for this nice, good double bottom situation. That's what we're going to be looking for. So we hit that low there of 3071. Right here, we had that 3073. But if you look here, okay, this is what I want to show you. You see this RSI? We hit this low, okay, and we put in a lower low, but we put a higher low in here, okay? See this? So right now we got positive divergence and we got a double bottom situation. So the key is we got to see whether we can take this and go up to the next level. So we're looking on the upside is you're looking at that today's high at 3270, but this is what we're really looking for is that 3380. We get above that, we'll come right to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 3571, and then we're looking for that 21-day 3669. Hondo up there at 3884, and then 4050 level. Now, we got two nice good flags here of double bottom and positive divergence. So let's just see if it all shakes out. If not, then we can, go, obviously we're going to be going lower. So now if we start losing this here, this key level here, that 3064, then we're going to be looking right here to the bottom of this candle here. This is your gap, okay? 2925, there's your fill, okay, at 2853. Right? Then we'll come right to the top of this candle right there, okay? Looking at 2791, and then we can come to the top of that candle at 2736. That is your downside. Upside, we got to get back above that 8-day, and then we can just take this bad boy higher. But right now we're downtrending, okay? High, lower, low, lower, lower, lower. We have a downtrending situation like we do in Bitcoin. But this chart looks much, much better than the Bitcoin does. Now, we came down here so far for the week, and we did the same thing we did last week, okay? We went through the 50, and it stopped right at that 100 days. See how nice that is? Always put the weekly side by side, and then you want to look at a monthly at least once a week to give it that big picture, okay? So right now we have a nice, good double bottom, and kind of like a tweezer bottom situation. So let's just see if we can rally this bad boy up here. Now, we're not oversold here by no means, and the green is crossed over your red. So you got to be a little bit patient here, and then the key is just watch that 3064, that 200-day. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver, and I'm glad I sold out yesterday, okay? Look at this here, okay? So I sold it out here for the simple reason I sold this out because we have a double top situation. And even though we made a higher high on the silver at that 53.76, you notice we couldn't close about. We had that topping tail, and then look at here what happened today. So I'm all out of the picture now. Now I'm just kind of be patient, okay? So what we had here is pretty much the same thing. I see yesterday I was holding this. I thought maybe we could just retest that 43.98, but then it could start coming right off here. I said, oh, this is a topping tail. Boom, I'm out of it, okay? I can always buy back in. I trade the GLD for that, for gold, and SLV for silver. But right now, you notice that we came down, but we're right back above here, the key levels, okay? So this is what we want to watch is that 40.85 and right there 40.88. That's what you want to watch there on a closing basis. Now, when the futures open Sunday, we're trading against today's candle, okay? So we're looking at that high of 42.15 and that low of 40.32. That's what we're going to be trading against, but just watch that key 8-day and watch that key 21-day. And then we lose that, we'll go down to today's low at 40.32. Then we have the 50-day at 39.60. Then we have your retest at 39.01. Now, we can crack back up here. We just follow these candles up, okay? 41.55 level. And we'll come right up to here to that 42.18. And then we have that 42.50. Now we crack above that. We come right there, 43.46, and then retest at 43.98. Okay, so this is actually holding this. So I have no position right now. I'm going to see Sunday night if how this is working. I can always jump into that GLD and we can take it bad boy higher. Now, okay, this is kind of rolling over here, but you're only at 53. That's not overbought, oversold. The green was looking pretty good, but now she's kind of rolled over here. So I'd be a little bit cautious on the old gold. Silver, same thing. We got a double top, okay? Okay, this is what we're looking for is that 53.76. We got 54.41. I thought maybe we could get to that 55 level. Came pretty close, but it's not quite there. So for me, I'm out of it, okay? That's it. I'm done with that until I got to see how it's going to shake out. So what we're watching here is we're watching that 50.20 level. That's an 8-day. And then we're watching that 49.05. We lose that. We come down to the bottom of that candle at that 48.23. And then we're looking for that 47.21, that a 50-day. And then we have your retest there at 45.51. Okay. But now we're holding this. Now, again, this could be a really good trade the same way with gold. If it holds that 8-day, okay, it's Sunday night, Monday, something like that. If it holds that, then I would jump right back into SLV and we can just jump that up. A lot of times what you do, you'll make like a big cup and you'll make a little handle situation and then she rips right on up. So let's just see if that's going to do here on both charts or if this is going to sink right through. So we start losing that 8-day, 21-day. Well, then the hell with this. It's coming down. You know what I'm saying? There's no sense. I'm not going to jump into that. Okay. Now, right here, we're looking here pretty good. Okay. This is coming right on off here, so that's not overbought, oversold. The green is still over your red. So just watch that for that 8-day and watch that 21-day on a closing basis on Sunday night when those futures are open. Same way with the gold. All right, let's take a look at the old crude ski here. All right, here we have crude oil, daily and your weekly chart. Okay, now, right now you can see here how it's got a little bit of juice going. Okay, you say, well, you know, there's really a big oversupply, almost like a glut situation going on here, but it doesn't really seem to matter for a simple reason is the sanctions on Russia. Okay, the war going on between Russia and Ukraine. That's why T-Man wants to get that kind of settled out because now Ukraine just bombed their port area to load up the crude oil. Okay, and that's not going to be that's not a good look. Okay, because if you can't load it up, you can't sell it. You can't get it. It's not going to get out of it. Okay, so that's what you have to understand here. So there's a lot more to crude than just numbers because you had a huge build there today or yesterday in the supplies, but it doesn't really seem to matter here because I say that's why I like trading crude because it's like it's always in play. Okay, so let's just take a look here at this daily chart. Now you can see how strong that 50-day is. Went through it and they could not close above it. Same way here, and now we're going to try this again. So the futures open here on Sunday night. You want to watch today's candle, 60.65 on top, 58.71 there on the bottom. Okay, and then we always want to watch right here is that 59.82, the 21-day, and that 8-day at 59.65. Okay. We start losing that area. We're going to come right down here. You're looking at 58.83, and we come down to today's low. You're looking at 58.71, and then 58.12, and then we have 57.34. We have 56.35, and you retest down there at 55.96. Okay. Upside here, the 50-day is everything. You have to get and close above it. If you can, we can go to that target there at 62.59. Your next target 63.27. Your next target 64.62, and then retest up there 66.42. Pretty simple. Okay. This is simple. Now, again, we have just sideways action, but we are downtrending, okay? This is a downtrending situation. Look at this. See this? Downtrending situation. So if we lose that 55.96 level, you're going to come right down to that 55.12. Now, I think if you didn't have the Ukraine war and that all that kind of nonsense going on here, this would be a lot lower. Okay? Just like what we had here, we went up here off this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then we had all that war between Israel and Hamas, that whole thing. This is where that war premium is, and I think we got a little premium, but we got a huge glut going on there in the oil biz. All right, here we have the weekly chart. Okay, so what you're really watching is right there is that 55.96 level, and then we have right there is that 55.12. Okay, that's what we're really watching. Now again, you got targets down here, all the way down here to that 40 level. If we start losing that here, somehow they get this settled. Okay, so you really want to watch that area next. That's that 53.94 level. Then we want to watch that 49 level, and then you can work yourself all the way down to this 40 level. Very, very easy. But if you look at this chart here, see this? You're just downtrending situation. Okay, there's nothing bullish about this chart. So this is what I call just a trade. Okay, long, short. This is just a trade, and that's all I'm doing it. UCO for the long, SEO for the short. Now, a lot of times I'll put on the SEO on same time as UCO and do the hedge situation. Okay, so that always works. But right now, this is just a trade, and a lot of this premium that's coming in here, with the green candle, is all pretty much nonsense. It's that war situation between Ukraine and Russia. Now, again, if it escalates, well, yeah, we could retest this level right up here very easily at that 66.42 level. However, it's a day-by-day situation. Okay, now right here, 49, that's not overbought, oversold. The green here, just kind of like sideways action. It's the same thing going on here. It's not really telling us, but we do have a descending channel going on here. This is just like a downtrending situation. So bottom line here is watch that 55.12 level. We lose that, you could whittle all the way down here to that 40 level. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Here we have the natural gas, okay? So your daily and your weekly chart, okay? So now basically what we had is had a big, long, sticky going on all the way down here, and then we had rallied on up, okay? So right now on the upside, you're watching that 4.63, and then we're watching that 4.68 level, okay? Now we get above that, this is what you're going to be looking for is that 490. That's going to be your big retest, okay? So now here what we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher high situation. This was that contract roll, and then she's just rallying up here very nicely. But if you look at this, we're right to that overbought situation, the same way you're green your MACD here. So you got to be a little bit patient. This on the downside here, just watch this key 8-day. That's going to be everything 4.44. We do lose that, we'll come down here to that 4.37 level here, and then we can come down here to this level. You're looking at that 4.26 level, 4.18, and then we come venture down 408 level. Then we have 401. Then we're looking for that 393. Okay, but as long as this price is holding, I'm not talking about it coming on down like today it came down. That don't mean dick. Okay, long as we hold it on a closing basis, this is sideways to up action here on the old natural gas. Now we take a look here at the weekly. Okay, let's see if I can fit that in there. Nah, not really. Okay. So what we're looking for is right here is we're looking at the top of that candle. That's that 490, okay? Just like we had basically up there, okay? So this is what you're looking for. That's going to be your big target if it keeps right on running up. Okay, that's what we're looking for. But you can see all the amount of resistance here that we have. I'm not talking about resistance. I'm also talking about upside targets here, which we can have. Okay, so you got a nice big target up there at that 5.36 level. We come all the way up there. You got that 710 level. You come all the way up to the top of this candle. Okay, you got what do we got there? You got 631. Okay, we marched it all the way up to the top of this candle. You got that, what do we got there? We got 760 level, and we can come march it all the way back to 10. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but we had this sideways consolidation. And when you get that consolidation, when she breaks out, it rips. The key is going to be right here, that 490. If it gets there, what is the reaction when it does get there? Now, you can see the RSI is not overbought. I mean, this was here where we got up to this level here, then she pulled back. But we're not there yet. We're only sitting here at that 67. We got room to run. Same way with this. Okay, we got plenty of room to run here. The key is if this keeps right on melting up, is what's going to happen at the reaction at that 490. That's going to be the whole key, that 490. Once you crack above that, then we have just unlimited area levels here that we can actually go and shoot right on for here. Now, here on the downside, here on the weekly chart, as you can see here, we're now above all those simple moving averages, which is always good. So all we have to do is just bring this right across here, okay? So that's going to be that 436 level, okay? Then we just bring this price channel right across. What do you got? You got that 425.26 level, okay? Then we just bring this thing right across, and what we got? You got that 415 level, and then we can venture all the way on down here, but look where that 200 day is, all the way down here at that 377. Your 8-day now crossed over to 21-day, to 50-day, and rolling on up here. This just looks like it wants to go higher. So for me, I just traded like UNG today. It was really a good trade. And it looked like this was going to come off, and I'm thinking, no, I don't think this is going to come off here. So UNG got as low as that 410. Now, I didn't get 410. I got in there at 420, or 1410. I got in there at 1420. Okay, and then it got as high as 1478. I clicked out at 1470. So all I wanted was 50 cents. Now, Friday, I used to trade 5,000 shares. I cut that down on Friday here, but I traded 3,000 shares today, so I got my 50 cents. So I got easy $1,500 just on this freaking on the old sticky candlestick here. Okay, so that was like a really easy trade. But when I'm watching this, I'm looking down on this. I'm thinking, okay. But again, when I trade natural gas here, I don't just trade off the daily and the weekly. I use a tick chart, a 1, 5, a 15-minute chart. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll also slow it down. You can go a 30 or 60-minute chart or an hour, and a 4-hour chart also gives you a lot of good information. But on a daily trade, I use basically a 1 and 5 where chart looks really, really good. And I can see it coming all the way down, right down to the situation. So what I'm doing is I was watching the top of that candle. Okay, that's 4.39. And I was watching the top of that candle at 4.35 level. And I say it came right down there to that 4.37. I said, it looks like it's going to hold this area right here. And then it started hooking around here on the other charts, rallied right back up here. I look at the daily, it got ready back up again here, and then it rallied up here nicely. But me, I'm not greedy. I'm not worried about I'm not worried about buying that bottom, selling that top kind of a situation. But I scaled 50 cents out of that deal, and that works out good. Now, again, I show you these charts here, but really in my office, I got 2 PCs and I got 10 screens going all at one time. Okay, so I got a lot of happening here. A lot of that stuff has got multi stuff all on it also there. Okay, and I also have like CNBC going. I got Bloomberg going. I got my local news going. So again, I have a lot of information. So all I really have to do is look up. Now I don't need to do that. I can trade off a phone, a tablet, or a laptop. That's not it. But when I'm at office, I like to have, well, got to have a little lux. Got to have just a little bit of lux. Okay. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here Sunday night, and we're going to do it all over again. So everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you then. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.